Welcome to another wonderful, wacky, wavy, inflating Iron Man Band Wednesday. I don't know what you used to say. Welcome, guys, to Family Room. It's not live. This is our last one. Excuse me. Our last one that's going to be recorded. The next ones will be live. We have Brooke here today. She is Jared. She's going to be carrying the conversation just like he does.
Yep, just like that.
Jared is still pretty sick, so we wanted to make sure that we still did Family Room for you guys. So buckle up. We're also somewhat dying, so it'll be very interesting. All right, so we're going to do our announcements really quick. This is December, so that doesn't help anything. Let me go back to November. Okay, so we have the Volunteer Appreciation Party. That's for volunteers only. That is on the 21st. That is next Friday. If you can, please go on to, or message me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That way we have a head count so I can know kind of what room we're doing, if we need to use the sanctuary or the event room. Fire Youth Friendsgiving, that's the bonfire night, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to be doing a fire, and they're going to be bringing food and sides, and that's going to be on the 23rd. Silent Support, this kind of changed up a little bit. That is November 30th. It's the last Sunday in November. That's going to be kind of an interesting thing. It's a fundraiser. They're raising money. It's kind of like a Silent Support raffle.
Yeah.
Tickets are $5 each. Buy as many as you like. I believe he's doing like a gift basket thing.
Several gift baskets. Yeah.
And then I think he's drawing on Sunday afternoon, and I think he'll be texting you guys.
During youth, they were going to draw.
Yeah, and they'll be texting you guys, and then the prize will be redeemed the following Sunday on December 7th. This Sunday,
Yes.
the kids are singing.
Yes. The elementary kids are.
Yeah, the elementary kids are singing this Sunday.
Sorry. Yeah.
This Sunday. So if you guys have your kids are 1st through 3rd, make sure they're here by 9:50 so they can go ahead and get on stage.
They'll be the first song for worship.
Yeah, and it's Julie asked me, she's like, what is the name of it? And I said, I don't know, it's something crazy. What is the name of it? Gotta get crazy.
Get a little
Call me
crazy. Something like that.
It's really cute.
It's a cute song.
It is super, super cute. Today's brought to you by Starbucks.
Getting us through the day.
Just kidding. I'm probably going to get like sued for that. All right, in December, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm not going to rattle them off mainly because I'm already running out of breath just talking. Check out on the website, just go through. We've got a couple different things. We're starting to put when the kids are singing on the event page too, so that you parents know ahead of time. And yeah, so we're going to, Jared says, dive right in. He's laying in his office.
I'm sorry, we're going to dive right in. That's me.
Thank you. This is on his sermon. This is going to be a real train wreck. Just be patient with us. I usually depend on...
It's my first time, okay?
It's her first time. I usually depend on him pretty heavily. It's showing now. Okay, so it was on his sermon, The Reward is Ready. So it was on Luke chapter 6, verses 20 through 23. Do you listen to it? She is in class usually every single Sunday. You listened to it last night,
yeah,
correct?
I listened
what
to it
did you
night.
think? It was
really good. I was super happy with the sermon. I thought it was perfect for what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
And I was just really timely for like what he said about how God put everybody for leadership, even if we don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Like he has still called them, and we don't understand why or what the purpose of that is. He still called them to be there. And so it's not our job to figure out why or to understand why. It's our job to still continue to trust God and trust that he has planned all of this, and to trust that he knows what is happening.
Yeah. And that was another thing too. A lot of the part that he was harping on as well was blessings. And I think before I started really diving into studying the Bible, I always pictured blessed as money. And I think a lot of people do too as well, because I think it gets into a church culture that blessing equals prosperity and finances. And that's kind of a slippery slope to go down, because you're already dealing with the church having sometimes a negative view about, money and tithing, and then they're speaking on being blessed. So I think some churches kind of tie that hand in hand, that, come to this church and you'll be blessed, and they mean it in a financial sense.
Yeah.
And that's, we won't go there, but that's not
I wrote down that God's favor is not by what you possess, but by his presence in your life. And so by how much you can feel God's peace and God's anointing and God's love, like that is your blessing. Mm-hmm. That is by no matter what's going on and what's going on in the world today, but also in your life. Like, trust me, I had a really chaotic day today. Like, just this morning.
We drop our kids off at aquarium for homeschool. It's the last day, and she walks in. She's like, "I popped my tire," pulling into her mom's driveway to drop the younger kids off so she could do this. So technically, if I hadn't asked you to come do this, like, she'd still have a tire. So sorry, Rodney. And then,
but yeah, like it's not about that. It's just about the presence of God. Like that's the blessing on your life. It's not about how much things or how much money or what you have.
You can lose in a second.
Yeah, like God can take that. Like that was what the verse said that he talked about. It was, I don't remember if I had that written down.
That's okay. I might have it in here.
It was on the recap, or the rewind. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. It was on the rewind, but about the prince.
I might have it right here, because here's all the... Whoa. Sorry about that.
That's a little too big for me. But saying that how he can reduce the prince to nothing. And but yeah, none of that, the worldly things, storing up all of that, like none of that matters. And it's our treasures are not here on earth. And it's hard to keep that in focus when, like, it's hard when you don't want to be living your day-to-day life in lack sometimes, like
paycheck to paycheck,
or less than like some people are going out not having enough, like not knowing where the next meal or the next things are coming from.
Isaiah 40:23.
Yeah,
is that what you meant?
Yeah, and so I trying to just remember that, like, the blessings are not worldly. They're peace when you shouldn't have peace, and joy when, nothing around you is screaming joyfulness, that is the blessings of God.
And moving into the holiday season, I think it amplifies it for the people that are going through that. I was paying bills this morning, and I sat there, I'm like, well, the bills are met, but Christmas is literally next month. So great. Awesome. So we're going to be using scholarship money.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that you brought that up, because the first discussion question that I had, I wrote down like 4 of them. Yeah, 5, just kidding. I wrote down, and the first one I wrote down the question was, how does understanding that God brings princes to nothing?
That was it.
Isaiah 40:23 challenge our tendency to put trust in political leaders, wealth, or human power rather than God alone. And kind of the points I wrote down was like, human power is fragile. We tend to put some people on a pedestal, and to be honest, like, this kind of hit me a little bit when I was writing it last night while Jared was sleeping. I kind of sometimes, like, as the head of the house, the head here and stuff like that, I can easily fall. I can easily not be 100% because I know he's going to lead it. So, like, this week has been interesting. We had to call back everyone on voicemail yesterday, and I found out how much I hate doing that. So I made Dual do a lot of the calls. But that sounds silly, but we really rely on some people in our life, and when they're not able to do their normal what's the word I'm looking for? Like normal job, I guess.
like-
and we have to step up. You're like, oh, the fire alarm's going off again. You're like, oh, you realize kind of how much you really depend on them.
Yeah.
And so that hit me last night when I wrote this down is we're all fragile. We can't be depending on. That sounds bad. We can't be depending on each other.
I did that too, but I put like misplaced trust. Like we put too much trust in leaders. Like instead of leaning on God, we put the trust in them. Yeah, and that's another thing was like challenge misplaced trust. Like you just said, it warns against idolizing political figures. Organizing or idolizing political figures, wealth, or systems as if they can bring the ultimate security or salvation. And that, I wrote that down because of our discussion yesterday. We were talking about somebody, and we were talking about how much people idolize this person, and whether, what can that person do to stop being idolized. When they're not necessarily doing it to themselves. They're not doing it
to themselves, and sometimes people are doing it to themselves, but we almost, it was a particular it's a particular spiritual leader, a pastor, and we were like, some people kind of look to that leader as the source of their salvation, and that gets really scary. So that was kind of another thing I was writing about, that we really need to keep in mind, like you said, Isaiah 40:23, that God can bring princes to nothing. God can bring those leaders down. We really have to appreciate their gift, but realize ultimately they don't bring the salvation, that God brings the salvation, and they're just a vessel. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they idolize the vessel, and that's terrifying, because what if that vessel is a false prophet and they don't make it to heaven, but you've been doing everything? What is going on with my phone?
Well, and I also was thinking about that in the sense of myself too, because like sometimes when like I get myself on a really good like path with like my walk with God, and like I stick with like the steps that I'm doing, I'm like, wow, I'm doing so good. Like I have all of this stuff together. Like this is going great for me. And then I'm like, I'm idolizing all the steps that I'm taking. Like, where's my actual relationship with God? And that, and like,
I just did that the other week.
Yeah, you're like, wow, like I'm doing
Bible study every day. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm talking in the women's chat, and then I'm like,
where's my relationship with God?
At all.
Yeah, and so like I think about that with myself too. Is like God can bring me back down just as fast as He can anybody else.
Yeah, it's a big whoopsie.
And so like I did that to myself when I was like reading that. I was like checking my own heart, and I was like, oh yeah, like you need to make sure like you're not putting yourself up there too. Yeah. And so I was like,
like I'm doing so good. I'm doing this, and it's...
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, like make sure my relationship is also not just for the steps and idolizing my own self, because when it comes down to it and you go through something hard, your relationship with God is what you need, not the steps you think you've done good.
Yeah.
Because
then it turns into legalism.
Yeah, because then like, okay, maybe you're doing your Bible study and you're talking in the women's group and you're, reading you're checking off your days on your Bible study, but like when you need to be able to talk to the Lord and not have a specific topic, but you just need to pray, are you able to do that? Like if there's a problem, like, and so if you're not ready for that, like you need to make sure your walk with the Lord is front and center and not just the steps, and you're not idolizing your own like, plan.
It almost turns into like, what is it? Works of faith? What is that thing? Works of faith, faith works. What?
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I'm not the real Jared. I'm just the fake Jared. Golly, Jared.
I can't remember what it was. He preached on it before, but it's like that. It's the doing good work. Everyone knows what we're talking about. We're just gonna move on before I mess it up. The other point is encourages humility. So recognizing God alone sustains and rules the world, keeps the believers humble about human achievements. Like I'm not even gonna go into that one, but human achievements, guys, we're not doing this on our own.
That was kind of like what we just talked about.
Yep. And then, strengthens faith in God. When leaders fail and the system collapses, trusted in God to provide a stability. And that's the big thing. Like, we can work and control as hard as we want to. At the end of the day, we really don't have that much control. So you're kind of, what is that verse in Matthew? It's not your day. You don't get a day added onto your life when you worry.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't know where the verse is, but
it's Matthew something, I think. Come on, Jared.
Sorry.
Calls for the right part. We already kind of went into that. Any more on that before I move to the next one?
No.
Okay. So the next one I wrote down was, which is this, I don't know, this one I thought would be really interesting. I think you guys will like this. But in what ways have Christians remained silent on moral issues out of fear? And how might this silence have contributed to the cultural shifts we see today? I'm going to be Jared for a second. We're going to trade. Hold on.
Okay.
Not the smart Jared. I'm going to be like the blunt Jared. Yeah, the mean Jared. I'm mean Jared. So this is a big thing that I truly think that, and I say this out of love, but at the end of the day, I'm going to call sin as it is. But I think that, years ago, it was to be homosexual. It was very, very hush hush. It wasn't really. It was almost treated like segregation a little bit. Not saying that that type of hate is correct. I'm not saying that. But as we've watched over time, first was, we just want to love behind closed doors who we love. Still wrong, but, and then it moved to, just love who you love. And then it moved to, they just want to get married and be left alone. Now, I would say over like the last, and now I could be wrong, but I would say it feels to me like over the last 10 years or less, it's gone from, they just want to get married, leave them alone, and a couple states legalized it, whatever, to full-blown, in your face, if you don't agree with this, you're, is bigot the right word?
Yeah.
Okay. You're just...
Maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Come on, Jared. Where is he?
I feel like that might be something else.
It might be something else. I don't know. If it's something else, I'm sorry. I say weird things on here all the time. This is nothing new for anybody. If you're new watching, I'm so sorry. If you're new watching, Brooke is our children's director. She's better than me. Let's just say that. So whatever the word means, but keep it together. My tuberculosis. But it's gone to it's almost hate speech if you say I don't agree or I believe this is sinning against God. They pushed it to where we take a stand, like we don't want transsexual men in our bathrooms as women. It's like, you're hateful. No, I just don't want to see that. And I don't, I have all girls. I'm
uncomfortable, yeah.
You have girls, and it's, no, I don't want that. And it's almost, they're pushing so hard for free speech, free rights, all this type of stuff, but they're completely 110% infringing on ours. And I feel like it's just going to get even worse if we don't, especially men. I love that Riley Gaines, is Gaines her last name? The swimmer?
Yeah.
So I love that Riley stood up and made a stand, but it's where were the men in this?
Yeah.
Where were the men telling the other men, stop doing this? And it's I'm not trying to be sexist, but come on, guys. It's us women are trying to stand up for ourselves and do all this, but there's only so much we can do. The men need to stand up and start saying something. And so with Christians need to be even louder, I think, and I put down, it's like that fear of rejection.
I put that down too. I put down that we're trying to avoid offending others, but we forget that sometimes forget that love is honest. So love is telling the truth, even if that is offending to somebody. We can't be so worried about offending them that we aren't truthful.
Well, like you see, he loves someone straight to hell.
Yeah, that was when the first time he said that, I was like, wow, like that blew my mind. The first time he said that, I was just shocked. And then I also put down that silence teaches too. So like if we're silent the whole time, that like we're teaching
really
our
good.
kids something, like we are teaching, like, because I'm guilty of that, especially with my kids.
Tolerance. Like, you're teaching tolerance and acceptance.
And then, like, we've raised a generation by omission. Like, we just haven't said anything. And so, by that, we have taught them that, you know, it's not our place to say anything. So, that has taught them that this is not our issue, when it is mostly our issue, because we're...
Oh, yeah.
God has called us to not accept this. But we have... because we didn't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah. Well, the main thing they fire back, and I 100% believe this is demonic, because they know, because the devil knows where that sensitive spot is, I guess you could say. But the main one they always fire back is, oh, you're Christians, you're supposed to be loving.
Yeah. And that's not love.
Yeah. And so it kind of scares them into silence, where they're like, okay, well, we don't want people to get the wrong impressions about Christians, so we're just not going to say anything. And that's, to me, like, you're weak if you're going to continue to fall in that line.
And that's why I wrote down, like, love is honest, because love has to tell the truth. Like, that's the godly love tells the truth.
Yeah.
And that's why I teach my kids that, like, if you're lying, then you're not loving. Like, that's just not. If you're telling a lie to your sibling, or you're telling a lie to your mom, then you're not acting out of love to us. And as a family, we love
selfish.
each other. And so, and that's the same way with the world. Like, we are called to love. God calls us to love everyone.
Yeah.
And so we are not to withhold the truth from people. And so that we've done that for
and you're not
far
hating
too
the
long.
person. You're not hating the person.
No, not at all.
You know, you're hating the sin, and you're refusing to be tolerant of it.
And you have to be careful, like, what word. I agree. Like, be careful what words you choose to say, because you can't be mean to the person. But we're choosing to not accept the sin. I know.
This is like Pop taught it off.
Yeah, we are not accepting the sin.
No. You know, and another point I made was desire for comfort. It's way more comfortable just to post, you know, memes and little things on your Facebook than have, you know, people messaging you on your Facebook. Like, why would you? I mean, I had that personally happen to me. I had a coworker of mine a couple years back. I had posted something, and we had a friend in the friend group that is a lesbian, and the friend messaged me, and she's like, "How could you do that? You hurt her feelings so bad." And I said, "Listen," and she did the same thing. Christians are supposed to be loving, and she's Catholic, and she kind of like flipped this whole thing on me, and we got into it. We got back and forth. And I'm like, I love her. I love her. I still talk to her to this day. And I invited her to church a couple weeks ago. And, you know, I'm going to keep trying. But we can't be. That's not being comfortable. You can be comfortable all you want. But how are you going to feel? Are you going to feel comfortable when you die and you're sitting in that line and you look over and those people that you were scared to say something are literally going to hell?
Yeah.
That won't be comfortable. And God will ask you too, and that probably won't be comfortable at all.
And again, that's just not love on your part. Like, you're not acting in love. You know?
I wrote compromise, silence, like you said, can gradually normalize what the Bible calls sin.
Yeah.
So that's how now we've gotten to having rainbow flags on the pulpit. We've compromised. We're complacent. We're trying to be comfortable. We're just, you know, we're fearful of being called intolerant and judgmental and all these things, so that it's now been this like gradual shift. And like with anything, like if you work out a bunch, I know I do work out things, but you work out a bunch, you stop working out. The longer you stop being physically active, the harder it is to get back to that spot. So we need to wake up and realize the drift is happening, and we need to go ahead and work hard to get back to that spot. And it's going to take work, but the longer we wait it out and just continue to just compromise and be complacent, the harder it is to get back to that spot.
Yeah.
let's see, what did I do? Cultural consequences. Yeah, and that's that part too. Cultural consequences. Silence has allowed unbiblical worldviews to shape laws. So we've got laws, media, education. So now the educational, you homeschool. I homeschool one of mine. I wish I could homeschool the older girls. But, sorry. It's all about reforming very slowly. It was like the K-pop Demon Hunters movies that you didn't let your kids even see. My kids know. That's starting that moral confusion. Painting in the light, demons are good. Oh, we can relate to them. They're not that
bad, yeah.
We're struggling. Look how cute. Love this song. And it's causing that confusion, and we're just not saying anything.
They almost try and paint it as like a teaching moment in a good way, but it's not meant to be that. Like, that's not their point of making that. Like, it's just they have an agenda, and it's not one to help Christians at all.
And we're, in Jared words, you're, as a parent, you're stupid for not looking into deeper into this movie before you go and sit your kids in front of it.
At this point, Netflix in a whole is really just,
we don't use Netflix.
We also are not on Netflix.
I might as well cancel it. I don't think we even use it at all.
We don't use it anymore either, because Netflix in a whole itself is just not. They have an agenda.
And isn't Netflix the one where like the previews, when you click on the app, the previews of like different stuff show usually? Yeah. I think the last time we got on there, I clicked on there and it was on the kids' profile, and it had something with two guys like forehead to forehead. I can't remember what it was called. But Riley was like, "What?" And
they had several of the kids' toddler shows with
CoComelon is
with. The Jurassic Park show had like two girls in a scene. It was a cartoon, like just in their cartoons. I just was like, I can't monitor this much.
No, it's another thing that they're just slowly slipping it in, and if you call it out, you're being intolerant. You're being too,
And that's where if Christians and people would have stood up a long time ago, it wouldn't have gotten to this point. But because we've let it go so far, where now the fight is so big because nobody said anything.
I've said this before on here, the frog and water thing. Like literally putting a frog in normal water and turning it on very slowly. They don't realize when it gets to boiling. And then they're dead. So, it's... Sorry, I had to explain that part. It's scary. So, number 4... How does the pastor's statement, if you're not Team Jesus, you're Team Satan, challenge the idea of spiritual neutrality? Being neutral, or being a good person without Christ. No middle ground. There's no space. There's heaven or hell. So there's not like, the Land Before Time or like Jurassic Park or another place you go to if you're like in the middle. Like, so why should there be a middle ground here on earth? There's no middle ground when you die, so it makes total sense. I mean, it's football teams. There's nobody that is supporting both teams, unless you're me and don't care about football at all. But there's no middle ground. It's like being married to someone and saying, well, I kind of love them. It's one or the other. Okay. Did you have anything on that one?
Just the Matthew 12:30, that the verse where he says, like, if you're not for me, then you're against me. But there is, in life, you're always going to be being pulled one way or the other. Even if you think like, okay, I'm not really a Christian, or I'm not really like, I don't believe anything. The then world, you're Team Satan for sure. But like, even if you're like, you're not recognizing that the songs you're listening to, the shows you're watching, the people you're talking to, they're pulling you one way. And the vast majority of it, it's not pulling you towards God. So like, if you're not Team Jesus and you're not actively chasing after a relationship with God, then the world is pulling you the other way, even without you realizing it. So it's not Team Jesus or team nobody or team you, because if you're not Team Jesus, you're already being pulled the other way.
Well, even if you said you're team you, that's still Satan, because you're supposed to deny yourself.
You're being pulled the other way. Yeah, and then the Bible says to deny yourself before men. Yeah.
So, all right. So it challenges, when he said that to me, like, it challenges moral relativism. It confronts the belief that simply being a good person is enough. Reminding us salvation is based on, So, I have seen this a lot. People say, actually a friend that was arguing with me, she's a good person, I'm a good person, and that's great. I'm really glad you're a good person and you're not out there murdering people. That's wonderful.
We need more good people.
Good people are great. That's wonderful. But we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
You will still be a good person, because you can't begin your life. You can't be transformed slowly and obviously it doesn't happen overnight. But you can't be transformed by Jesus without your life slowly changing. And some lives change very quickly. Yeah. Other it's kind of a work in progress. But you can't do that. You can't say that you're following Jesus and your life stays the same. Mm-hmm. And hopefully doesn't get worse. So, good person, that's great. But that's not salvation. Mm-hmm. That's just...
That would be impossible, because God's work and God doesn't show up in your life and you stay the same. God can't do that. So, he's always working in you. And so if you're staying the same, then you don't have a relationship with him. Yeah. If you're staying the same, then you are not actively saved. You need to be chasing a relationship with him to have those works inside of you. So you're not going to be staying the same. You're not going to be getting worse. You have to be chasing after him.
And mine has been a struggle. So don't feel like it's an overnight thing.
No.
But, you should be seeing some fruit. You're
going to.
You should be noticing a difference. You should look back and say, oh, wow, 6 months ago, this particular instance would have affected me in this way, but now I'm having more grace towards that person, or, whatever it may be. I'm doing this leadership Bible study. Have you been getting those in the leadership app? Ariana. But I've been sending little tidbits.
Saw that one you put on Facebook.
No. Fine, I'm going to text it to you now. I've been doing this leadership, and it's a plan, and the first one was on grace, and this one's on love, and I just started it. It's challenging. It challenges at the end, leadership questions, and you have to evaluate yourself, and it's scary. All right, so another thing, too, is it exposes hidden allegiance. So passive rejection or indifference toward Christ aligns a person with the world's, opposition to God. So if you're passively chasing Jesus, it's what is it? So genetics. There's passive genes, or recessive genes, and dominant genes. So there's always one that's more dominant. Yeah. I don't know if this is making sense, but if you gotta think about it, there's two genes. One is gonna be more dominant, and that one's gonna show. So I think it's a pungent square or something like that. Something like that. Anyway, it's how people can see how eye color is determined and hair color, and you'll have a dominant gene, which is brown eyes, and then the mom brings, let's say, blue eyes. So it has a dominant gene. That dominant gene is going to show. You can't tell that I have a recessive gene of blue eyes because my eyes are not blue, they're brown. So my dominant gene is showing. So I know I'm going way off on this side on that, but I just thought about it. We have those two. You're dominant, who you're following, who you're dominantly following. The dominant effect in your life is going to show. Yeah. So you may slip up, you may have all those things that's going to be recessive, but if you're actively choosing to follow Jesus, the fruit is going to show, your dominant gene is going to show. But if it's the other way around, where you're recessively, following Jesus, I go to church on Sundays, it's fine.
And you might have seasons where that is your season. I've slipped up and gotten into that season where for a time period, it's been like that, where I've just not been focusing on my relationship with Christ, and like I am still following God, but like it's just the fruit is not there. The fruit's not showing. But like,
and sometimes it's life too. Sometimes like just one thing after another happens,
and that's normal and that's seasons. But you, as a Christian, our coffee maker is going crazy.
Yeah, it's over there just like click.
But as a Christian, like you are in control of your walk. You can notice those seasons when they happen, and then that's when you, or if you have godly friends and godly
accountability is important.
Yeah, they can say like, hey, like you are not on the right track. Like you, like, do you want to do this Bible study with me? Do you need prayer in your life? Like whatever it may be to get you back on and focusing on getting on the right path again.
Yeah, and oh crap, I had something. My ADHD mind just went. Okay, yeah. So that had happened to me. Oh, that's what it was. So right after like the court battle with Carolyn and everything, that had kind of transformed me, and I was really working on being close with Jesus, and it was awesome. Like I was going through a really bad time, but I felt really close. When everything got done, I kind of, not that I didn't need him anymore, but I just backed off on that intensity. And then it took a couple months, and I went, I think it was either something he said or something, and I went, oh, and it was like only being active in God when you're going through something. And then I almost got, was it Elijah that got that depression after, I think it was. Come on, Jared.
Sorry.
I think it was Elijah. Jared! He's sleeping. I think it was Elijah that after his big win.
Or was it Job?
I think it was Elijah.
Was it Elijah? Okay.
I think it was.
We're going to say it's Elijah.
We're going to pretend.
I'm sure he was depressed once, too.
I'm sure he was depressed. He had a little depression. He had a little depression.
Little depressy state.
Anywho, I'm pretty sure it was him, and it was after a big win, and he kind of fell into depression, and that is kind of what I went through. I got really fearful, like, oh my gosh, when is when I realized like what I had done, I had kind of dropped out of really like actively like needing all that. I kind of panicked. I'm like, oh my gosh, God is going to punish me because I know you think the same thing. God's going to punish me because I withdrew a little bit and I acted like I didn't really need him. And now he's going to put another bad thing in my place, in my path. And Jared said, that's not how that works. But I really thought that's how it works. So I kind of panicked a little bit. And, that's not
God
how
has
God
grace
works.
For that. Yeah. Like he knows. Yeah. He loves us more than to be sitting here waiting for us to mess up.
Don't use that as an excuse. Don't be like, okay, well, it'll be fine.
You saw that, you realized that, and then you corrected it. You know, it wasn't about like, oh no, like, and then you just kept going. Like you saw it and you're like, I need to fix this relationship. Like I still need him just as much now as I did then.
And I think it's okay. I mean, this is just me personally. I am actively trying to seek, but some days are harder than others because like this week has been kind of difficult. Jared's dying, and we have to keep things going here as normal, and then at home, homeschool and all the other different things going on. So not active as I would like to be, and some weeks are like that. But I don't know where I was going with that. But it's okay. You got to have a little grace for yourself.
There's a lot of grace for that.
Yeah. So. True discipleship, So following Jesus isn't about partial commitment or occasional belief.
It's kind of what we just talked about.
The what did he say? The Christmas and Easter, the Christers. Don't do that. I mean, that's a great start, but you come the next Sunday too. That'd be fun. Reveals the spiritual reality. So this statement underscores that there's a battle between good and evil, and it's ultimately about loyalty to Christ, not about comparing levels of human goodness. So, we're still talking about the good person thing.
Yeah.
It's loyalty. What is that? I think it's in the New Testament, maybe. Gosh, wish we had Jared. It's in the New Testament.
I'm right here.
I'm going to call him on the phone and put him on speaker. It talks about the praying in the temple. I think it was a Pharisee that came in and was praying this big elaborate prayer.
I'm not the real Jared.
Praying this big elaborate prayer. And then the tax collector, oh boy, came in and was like, I think he ripped his clothes. Something happened. And it was, but the whole point of the story was, you know, the sinner that came in and was basically not a good person, as we would say on the outside, right? He was more repentant and closer to God than I think it was a Pharisee. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to rip us apart in the comments.
It's my first day, guys.
But I'm pretty sure it was. And it was, you know, he was more repentant. So it's like, you can look great on the outside. Yeah. What is the state of your heart? You know, where's your relationship? I can look great all day. And, you know, the few close people, you know, to me and Jesus are going to know how I really am when the door shuts. And that's disappointing. So he kind of ended it with like a call to decision. It urges people to make a clear choice about where they stand. You're either with Jesus or you're against him. I think obviously that's so much more than we can cover today, because that's deep. Yeah. I think there's got a bunch of different layers. So kind of I forgot to write on that one, but we'll just do one or two more and we'll wrap up. But one of the questions was, why do you think the church has become more focused? Did you write this one down?
Yeah, I did have this one.
Why do you think the church has become more focused on competition between congregations rather than a unified conquest against spiritual darkness? Selfishness is the first thing that I thought of. I didn't write it down, but selfishness and ego. Huge. I think you can agree with me on that. It's, we get wrapped up in, especially, you know, I feel like in this town, you get wrapped up in competition. And even I sometimes, I'll to be honest, like I'll get wrapped up in that and be like, well, you know, maybe nervous or intimidated. I'll be honest, like when I heard 1122 is coming into town, I got scared because we can't compete with that church. You know, they have quite a bit of funds, as we saw yesterday. You know, and I got wrapped up in getting nervous, and Jared was like, it's fine. He's like, we're here for a reason, we're here for a purpose. Yeah. He has a plan for us, and it doesn't matter who comes into town.
So that was what I was thinking, that one of the reasons churches get this way and compete like this is because they forget that none of this is theirs. Yeah. They don't own any of this. No church in town owns anything they have. Mm-hmm. We don't own this. Mm-hmm. No church owns any that they have. God owns all of it. Mm-hmm. And so if every church's things are God's, why are they all competing over the same thing? Yep. It's all God's. There's no competition because it's all the same thing.
It's the same team.
It's the same team.
Unless you're not a biblical church, then we're not on the same team. No. You know, leaders and congregations may seek recognition or status. When you start to do that, you're shifting that focus from we are literally here for one reason. Yeah. You know, this church personally, we like to help feed. Yeah. We like to help, you know, the homeless, but our main mission is to bring people to Jesus. Yeah. Doesn't matter how many festivals we put on, doesn't matter. All those are great. Those are wonderful. But
that's like fun for us though.
It's not really fun for us.
No, but like we do it for the fun though. Like it's not, none of that is like for our goal.
It's for fellowship.
Like,
we're supposed to fellowship.
That's like made for like the fun. Like that, none of that's for like our main goal, you know, like the main goal is
bringing people to Jesus.
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
And not about any of us.
Yep. And it's moving straight into my next point was it lacks spiritual vision. When churches lose sight of the true mission, which is advancing God's kingdom, like he always says, and confronting spiritual darkness, internal comparisons can take over. So if you're not daily focused on, and I'm talking like daily,
every day,
you need to be daily. If you're a leader in a church, if you're a pastor, your daily focus should not be, oh, I lost this person. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Congregation's growing. Awesome. You planted another church. Really cool. But is your daily goal as this shepherd, as not the shepherd but a shepherd, if your daily goal is literally not advancing God's kingdom, I don't know what you're doing. You're literally just running a club.
Well, like the people who focus, like if somebody left their church and they went to a different church, honestly, like that's not that bad. They're at another church.
As long as it's biblical, man.
They're at another church. Like it's not the worst thing in the world. So there's no need to focus on that.
The only reason why you'd be upset is because of money.
Yeah, like that's the reason you would be upset about it. And so like I don't care, like at our church, like or any church, but like ours specifically, like I don't care if we have 700 people in our building or 10 people in our building. If we are helping get one more person than the last week or one more person than the last day into the kingdom of God, I don't care what our church looks like. I don't care what our church sounds like. I just want to get one more person into the kingdom of God. I don't care what that means for me, what sacrifice that means for you. And I know you feel the same way. Like that's our heart and we're not focused on the competition. Like it is a daily reminder that we have to remind ourselves. Like it is easy.
Because you can get real quick.
It's easy to get wrapped up, but like a daily reminder that like it's not about us. Like it's not.
It's not, and it's not about it's not about the crowds. It's not about and I'm indifferent when it comes to like mega churches. I could care less.
No,
mega church. I mean, like
if that's what God says to do, then that's what we do. But that's. If that's not what God says to do, that's not what we do.
Yeah, everyone's called for a different spot, and I feel like, a lot of people kind of question, well, why are all the mega churches are, all the mega churches, they're just stealing money, or whatever people say about mega churches, but it's like, I can't with that thing. The thing is some people are very comfortable in 20 people, 50 people churches. And that's why God, maybe I'm going out. I'm not saying on a fact. I'm just saying maybe that's why God keeps some churches. Yeah. Some shepherds are meant to shepherd a smaller flock. They do a great job. They're amazing
super
pastors.
Personable. They are so good at like reaching out every day to their people. Like some people are very, very good at that.
Yeah.
Like,
and the congregation sometimes feels more comfortable. The people that go are more comfortable in that. Some people like to have a lot of things going on. They like to have things where they can go to their church every day. Yeah. And that church is equipped for that. They have the staff for that. They have the campuses for that. And as long as, like I said, it's a biblical church and the focus is bringing people to Jesus, that's why there's so many different levels. There's so many different preaching styles.
So many people so many types of churches in between that too, because God truly thought about that, and He has something for He wants everybody to be a part of His kingdom. So like He's going to make that possible for everyone. Like He's going to make it to where if you're comfortable in a middle ground and you're comfortable in a congregation with 30 people or 7,000 people, whatever it is, like there's a place for you, like there is a place for you.
I'm not gonna say, because Jared would be like, it's not if, it's when.
Well,
so you gotta correct me. Okay, fine.
I'm sorry, it's when.
Okay, when we get to that point and there's 7,000 people, I will 1,000% be in the production booth. Like, there's no chances in pulling me out of that booth. I'm gonna be like this, doing the sound. That's scary. Anywho, so cultural influence. Everybody, society rewards rivalry and achievement. So the church kind of unconsciously adapts to this. They are like they
a competition type of aspect.
They want to be the number one church in St. Augustine. They want to be the number one on Google that you search up. And some, not all, but some will prioritize that over the actual mission. Which is terrifying. So, like, I urge you, if you ever come into a church, we always say, check what the pastor's saying. Check it against the Bible, not Google. Check what the pastor's saying. Make sure it's biblical. Make sure it's not twisted. And, it is your soul. So, do your homework. And if you ever are in a situation where the church is really prioritizing numbers and, prioritizing being, we're the biggest church in St. Augustine, that's scary. A hard pass on that. Focus more on, growth. They want growth. That's great. But you can have 500 people in your building that are atheists and they stay atheist. And it's like,
the thing is,
that numbers don't mean anything at that point.
All of it together, like the numbers of people, the numbers of funds, all of it together, like
numbers of friends?
Funds. Oh. Like the funds you need.
We just have each other.
Yeah, it's a big friend group.
Yay.
But all of it is, when you have a church focusing on that, you have to realize that they have, again, lost sight of the vision.
So what else are they losing sight in? Is that what you're getting at?
Because if God wants 900 people here one day, all God has to do is tell 900 people here to get here, because he
needs to give a girl a heads up, because
that's like, God is in control of all of that. Like, if we look back at the Bible, when there's people, one man, like God will have one man fighting an army of people and they win. Like, you don't.
Elijah?
Yeah.
So we tied that together on purpose.
Sorry, I got nervous.
It's okay. You did really good.
Thanks. So, you don't have enough trust in God if you're sitting here trying to rally people and funds when God is your provider of everything.
Bro,
he provides.
Your microphone. That was
Jared
good.
would be mad.
Jared
would be mad.
Also, I would take a couple minutes because this unscrews.
But if you're sitting here rallying people, rallying funds, and doing all that, where's your trust? Because you have the ultimate provider to do that for you. You need to be praying for
Jared's
wisdom.
Gonna steal that, right?
Good, he can have it.
He's gonna steal that.
I am Jared.
So, you're kind of short. I'm gonna sit up a little more.
I'll get my pillows.
Okay, yeah, go get your pillows. We'll just bring that chair and stack it.
But yeah, so you have to realize that they've lost their focus of their trust, and who are they relying on at that point? Themselves, or are they relying on God?
I found, which is weird, I've been, really, finances are a big thing for me. They've always been a big thing for me, especially going from making what we made as a nurse and lineman and being finally comfortable. Jared and I started out together, paying rent on a credit card. And basically getting groceries at Walmart on a credit. Everything was on a credit card. And we started out like that and worked our way up to where we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with just us and the 2 older girls that were babies. And the struggle of having babies in one room, especially when they have completely different sleep patterns. And we worked really, really hard. And he went from not being able to get a job because all he had on his resume was working at church and being a drummer, and a lot of places that's not an
what does that matter?
And he was able to work his way up to being a foreman and stuff with line work. And I went back for my RN, and we went from that to being able to buy what we have now. And I was like, yeah, it's all uphill from here. We got this. We got a camper, and we're like, this is
God said, who's got this?
Yeah. And then he was like, and we planned on the girls turn 18. We're gonna go ahead keep our house and the property and maybe rent it or let my parents stay, and we were gonna just travel, and he's gonna do line work, and I was gonna retire. And, you know, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna be making like hundreds of thousands. Like,
I heard God loved that plan.
yeah, so that didn't happen. You know, I'm here now. Car didn't start yesterday. It started today, though.
Hey,
that
at
was
least
good.
you have 4 tires.
That's true. Well, we're still gonna make it home, Brooke. Thanks for telling me that. So finances have always been. We climbed up out of that hole, and now we got in a different hole. But I'm happier in this hole. This is my happy hole. That sounds weird. So my point is finances have been difficult for me. So tithing, I've always said this, tithing was a big hurdle.
Yeah.
He never ever second guessed it. I always second guessed it. And I've been tithing for about 2 years now, regularly, with everything that comes in. If we get gifted anything, I tithe on it. That's been a hard one.
Yeah.
And we have literally, whether we get a check in through the mail from his school that we overpaid, or like a random
just
reimbursement from something that I don't even remember. And like today, I've got a checking account, and then I have a billing account. And because funds are so low, I have to transfer money from the checking into the billing so nothing gets overdrafted.
Yeah.
So if we're going to overdraft anything, at least we'll overdraft like the checking account.
Yeah.
And there was just like $300 sitting in the billing account.
You're like,
I back traced it. I couldn't find where it came from. I know I sound crazy right now.
no, that's just how it
I
goes.
couldn't find where it came from. I double checked. I have this spreadsheet with all my bills labeled, and I checked them all off on the date, like as I pay them. I'm not sure if that's Quaker I do it or not, but I went back through. I looked through all the transactions.
Well, and that's
I
because
couldn't find anything.
we're not called to worry about every dollar, every minute. Like God,
But I do.
I know, and that's really, I've seen a big growth in you in the last several months. Like you really are. God's changing that aspect of you in your life.
Yeah.
But God's provides, like He does, and we don't get to understand why or how all the time, but He provides. We put our trust in Him, and He does provide.
And that was pretty much one bill was $300 and something, and that mysterious $300 won't cover all of it, but like,
is in your account. Like
definitely helps.
It's gonna help.
So I mean, $5,000. Just kidding. Just kidding. That was so wrong. Okay, so we're on the last one, guys. We're wrapping up. So wait a minute.
I think that was the last one.
Yeah.
Scroll down. You got the one thing written down here.
The call to unity would be important to say about that. Call to unity. The New Testament encourages cooperation among believers. 1 Corinthians 12 through 27, Ephesians 4, 11 through 16, reminding the church that the real battle is spiritual, not numbers.
I mean,
yeah. Competition divides resources, energy, and focus, weakening the collect. I can't stand, I'm going to go on a tangent, I can't stand seeing Christians argue online.
Yeah.
I cannot stand that. It's actually unbiblical.
Yeah.
I can't remember the verse because I wrote it down yesterday because I was going to go on a rant on Facebook, and I was like, maybe not. I wrote it down. I can't remember. Maybe I have it in my notes. I sometimes type things up in Google Keep.
She'll never find it.
So that, yes, I will. I will find it. But it's, you guys, people are watching how we
interact with each other.
Yeah. And if they're seeing Christians that people are, oh, God says this and God said that, and we're going back and forth. Yeah, you're right. No, I'm not going to find it. You know, God is this and God is that, and no, God, and it's like another big thing is, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. Flat Earth, round Earth. At the end of the day, are you going to heaven or hell?
Yeah.
You know, or your friends going to heaven or hell?
Yeah.
They're going to go to heaven or hell where the earth is flat, round, triangle,
it doesn't
rectangle,
yes.
You know, octagon. I was trying to think of it.
Yeah, you can feel however you want to feel about what the earth is. Cool.
Totally cool.
Think what you want about it.
I can promise you that the state of your soul and your friend's soul that you're arguing with is more important than if dinosaurs existed.
Yeah.
I don't really care either way.
Somebody's going to be wrong.
Someone is going to be wrong. Does it actually matter? Probably not. Things that we can argue about. Homosexuality is a sin. We can argue about that if you want to. What's another thing? Let's see. Lots of stuff like that. Stuff that actually matters that would cause you to go to heaven or hell.
Yeah.
Thinking that there's dinosaurs versus not thinking there's dinosaurs, I'm going to go on a limb and say probably doesn't have too much of effect on if you're going to heaven and hell.
Well, and like just think about like
hell.
God sitting up in heaven watching you arguing with somebody about if dinosaurs are real or not. Like he's probably like, what is she doing? Are you for real, Brooke? Stop arguing if there's dinosaurs or not. Do something better with your time.
Yeah,
like he does not want us spending our time.
If we channeled that energy towards things that actually were helping people with salvation.
Yeah,
what we could accomplish so much.
Yeah.
But instead, we're sitting here arguing about, oh, live stream is stupid. We have church in person only. Like, come on. Like, that's none of that matters.
If you want to take the time and the energy to type out 900 posts a day about flat Earth, then take that time and energy about making posts that persuade people to believe in Christianity who don't. Because there are people out here who truly don't believe that Jesus was a man who was born and then killed and raised.
Yeah,
like
they think it's a story.
They don't, and there's people who have never heard of it. So if you have time on your hands to argue about flat Earth, then spend that time doing something better. Like there's just,
you can still 100% believe the Earth's flat. I don't really care.
If you love arguing that much, argue something better. Like
that.
Like, argue something better.
I personally don't like arguing at all, unless it's with Jared. Then I love arguing. It's super fun. I love it, but not with anybody else. Like
it's so frustrating to see you're weakening your witness by spending time just fighting with people online. Like it
also
hurts.
It's not loving.
It's not.
It also, God tells us not to. I wish I remembered that verse. Jared, he's still sleeping. He's literally on the other side of the door. I know he can hear me. He just doesn't want to get up. I think I highlighted it. Hold on. How do I see my highlights?
Highlights.
Oh, got it. Oh, he's coughing. I know he can hear me. 2 Timothy 2:23 through 26 have nothing to do with foolish, ignorant controversies. You know that they breed quarrels. And the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but to everyone be able to teach, patiently endure evil, correcting his opponents with gentleness. You need to work on that.
I know.
God may perhaps grant them repentance, leading to the knowledge of truth. That's a big one. God may perhaps grant them repentance, leading to a knowledge of truth, and they may come to their senses and escape from the snare of the devil after being captured by him to do his will. So
that says God will give them that, though. That doesn't say you.
Nope.
By bullying them.
Nope.
Will give them that.
Nope.
So
that's a different version. Just kidding.
Yeah, we didn't read that.
That's not the ESV. That's the message.
That's God giving them that. Like, it's not our job to go out here and like
beat people over the head about if there's dinosaurs.
Yeah, and so you are sitting here, like it says, foolishly arguing.
Stop.
Like it really is hurting when you do have an opportunity to come to somebody and share a testimony with them and talk with them and maybe lead them to Christ, but you have already
planted a seed, even if anything.
Yeah, you have already gone off. They see how you act.
Because you can also, if you're talking about, like if someone gets in a debate with you about flat earth and you believe it's flat earth, like if your name is Rodney and you want to get into the person starts arguing with you, they're going to see Jesus when you're like, hey, you know what, man?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
I personally think it is, because I personally think the Bible is saying with the, whatchamacallit?
Firmament or whatever, yeah.
I almost said filament.
That's not it.
That's not it. I personally feel this way, but hey, I respect your viewpoint on it. how's your relationship with Jesus?
Yeah.
Even if you don't even say how's your relationship with Jesus, you're just like, show them love in your argument. They're going to, that's going to be a witness in itself.
Because at the end of the day.
But if you're like, hey, stupid, no. Like,
the Bible says this.
Yeah. It's like, oh, guys.
Because at the end of the day, when we go to heaven, nobody cares what shape the earth is.
And one other thing, when we go to heaven, we're going to be wrong about a lot of things. I'm going to be wrong about things.
There's going to be
You're
so many things.
Jared will be wrong. Slim chance, but just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Just take a breath, because we get offended and personally offended when
we believe something,
when we have nothing to do with the shape of the earth. Like, it's not like we're talking about our dog or something. Like, they're not offending us about our dog. Like, it's just it's the earth. Calm down. I don't. We're not going to go there. Anything else?
Nope.
That you had? You didn't write down any other notey notes?
No, not on the questions we did.
Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah. So. Oh, well, I don't get what that is. It doesn't look like wood. He's gonna have to clarify that. Jared, can you clarify that?
We trade compliments every day.
Look like wood. I don't know what that means. We're not going to discuss that quote because I don't know what that means. We're just going to pass on that one. So this Sunday, Jared, I want to know what this Sunday is. I have no idea what this Sunday is. This Sunday is somewhere in Luke.
We're talking about Luke.
We're talking about Luke. Luke for sure. It's going to be chapter 6 for definitely sure.
Are you sure? When does chapter 6 end?
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on.
How many verses are there in chapter?
I don't know. Okay,
well, you said for sure.
Well, I'm not maybe for sure now. Oh, you can hear me.
Okay, so Luke
6:20. He just texted me. Luke 6:24 through 26, and that's speaking on. Is he texting me? I don't know. Woes. It's speaking on woes.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for clarifying that. Hold on. Let me go to the Bible verse. What did he say?
24 through 26, I think.
24. But woe. Okay. Woe. Lots of woe. Oh, woe.
There's a lot of woes.
There's a lot of woes.
Yeah, it's the woes.
It's the woes. Okay. So 24 to 26 is whoa. It's going to be whoa of a sermon.
Woes are sad.
So whoa.
Woes.
But it's going to be a good sermon. I know that woes are sad, but I was trying to play on word like whoa.
That's not the vibe.
I know. Okay. It's not the vibe. That's my bad. Yeah. So as he says, come Sunday, come early, come hungry.
Yeah.
Doesn't that what he says?
Hungry.
I think he says hungry.
Oh, yeah, for the word of God, not for food.
Well, that was probably so loud. That's fine. You can come hungry, both. I'm usually always hungry on Sunday morning because I'm
first through third grade are singing a really fun song.
Oh,
so that's going to be really good.
So they're going to be singing. That'll be wonderful. Team talk. Is it just me? I always accidentally say teen talk. And when we first came back, I thought it was called teen talk. And never mind. So team talk.
9:20
is at 9:20. You're more than welcome to come and sit through it. It's not exclusive. It's just kind of like a powwow thing in the sanctuary. That was a horrible way to explain that.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's at 9:20. You're more than welcome to come. Fellowship, we have coffee. Yeah. Check out the events for the events coming up in December. If you have youth, put them in.
Our first morning mingle. We should talk about that.
No, we're not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So if you're in the women's fam group app, we're going to be doing something fun, but if you're not invited because you have to be in the women's group app. So you can't sit with us. I'm just kidding.
Women's fam group.
Go in
check your app. Check your app.
Check your app. And then the men's too. And just so you know, for that little thing that we're doing and that the men are doing, Brooke and I came up with the names. So they're kind of dumb, but they're cute. We didn't.
We're done now.
We're done. We're wrapping up. Thank you for your patience. I know this probably wasn't as in-depth as the real Pastor Jared would have made it, but I think you did great. You're amazing. And
I did my best.
You did amazing. And I hope that you guys, I was praying about this last night in the shower. I prayed about this morning that somebody got something out of this. Even if it's just one thing, this is not our...
That the Lord would just speak through us. Yeah.
This is not our type of thing.
No.
But you've come a long way. We used to make videos, announcement videos.
I was really praying all night and all morning that Jared was going to feel better. And then when Jared wasn't feeling better, I was like, okay, Lord, well, then obviously you have another plan. Mm-hmm. So
I think you did great.
Use me, Lord, to just say whatever it is.
We're wonderful. We didn't quite know the Bible verses, the stories that we talked about. They may or may not be actually true, but you kind of got what we were talking about.
If you know them, then you feel free to put them in the comments.
Yes, if you knew what we were talking about, please put the Bible verse in the comments. I'll make Jared do it after he gets better and watches this train wreck. All right, guys.
I'll be fired from doing this again.
I want to be sick next time. You have to do it with Jared. It'll be
Bye, guys.
No. Yes, it'll be wonderful. All right. Thank you for joining us. Remember, next week we'll be live.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be Brooke and I next week live. No, you get to have Jared back, I think. Make you and Jared do it. We'll be live next week, so please jump in the comments. Talk to us next week. We'll be missing you guys and ready to talk to you guys. So we will see you Sunday, and we're going to dive into the woes.